What's going on, my loving fans? Cortez bringing you another 2 games of Road to Commander. I'm pretty much going to group together games now because I only have 4 months or so to get the rest of this out, as well as other things that I would like to do. And actually, now that my Xbox is on its last legs, I thought it would be a good time to... I'm just going to record commentaries en masse, and then I'm going to upload them sparingly. Today I also uploaded Game 5 of my live World of War session, and this is about 6 hours later. This is at like 10 o'clock at night, and I'm just going to record this commentary. Not going to upload it. I'm probably going to upload this game tomorrow, May 4th. But I'd rather talk about something else other than my Xbox being almost dead and my computer taking 20 minutes for me to play this back due to a virus scan that was going on that I knew about, but I didn't think was having any adverse effect on playback. But apparently it was, so I was getting really angry that Pinnacle wasn't working. It would just, every 10 seconds it would kick me out and say there was something wrong with it. And then Windows Movie Maker would play it back really laggy, so I'm recording this through Pinnacle right now just so I don't have to have 2 programs open. And it's pretty much going to be the same quality, so it doesn't really matter. But I'd rather talk about something else that's very current. And no matter where you live, wherever you're watching this, whether it be the United States or Asia or wherever you live, it was announced on May 1st that in the last week, United States Special Forces had infiltrated Osama bin Laden's compound in Pakistan, and they confirmed killed him. Confirmed KIA. The American public have been waiting, no, the world have been waiting 10 years, almost 10 years to hear that phrase, target KIA. And once they heard it, oh man, did the people react. Oh my god. I heard about it Sunday night on Facebook, and it wasn't just like one person on my friends list said that he was dead. It was my entire message board. About 10 or 15 different people at 11:30 at night saying, "We got him, he's dead." And at first I was a little skeptical because they weren't giving any info. They were just saying, "We got him, yeah, we did it, high five." I was like, okay, are you sure? But I wasn't saying anything. Then the next morning, my mom likes to watch the Today Show while I get ready for school, and they went over the process of what happened. So if you haven't heard exactly what happened or you aren't sure of the details, here is what everybody now is saying. That is the same as the Today Show. So for the last 5 or 6 years, bin Laden had been hiding, not in caves, but in a mansion that he had built in Pakistan that he was living in with his family, okay? All 2,000 sons of his, because the Islamic people, I guess, don't believe in, the radicals anyway, don't believe in condoms because they can have 30 million children with 10 different wives, so obviously they're Mormons too. Anyway, moving on, religious jokes aside, he had been living in that mansion for years with, extended family, and in the last week, 2 helicopters with U.S. Special Forces inside, Navy SEALs, had flown in. One of them actually crashed en route to the compound, and apparently that had, you would imagine hearing a giant helicopter crash, you would expect the Al-Qaeda guards to hear what had happened, just be like, "What was that loud noise?" Probably just fireworks. So they investigated the crash, I'm assuming, because they said on the Today Show that as soon as the Special Forces landed, they encountered heavy fire from guards. However, the forces were fortunate that no one was injured or killed in that helicopter crash. So once they all got out, they came under heavy fire from the Islamic guards that were protecting bin Laden. And it is rumored to believe that bin Laden himself came out with an AK-47 to try to kill some of the Navy SEALs. And, some people find that one of the most skeptical parts of this whole thing. Like, we talked about this yesterday in my mystery class, because this is what we talk about. We talk about, like, things that people usually wouldn't believe, and, like, government conspiracies and stuff. So some people, half of my class thinks that Osama bin Laden is still alive. Even though we've told them that there's been DNA tests and, like, heredity checks and all that shit on people that we know that are related to him, and they've come back as positive results, they don't want to believe them. This game's over. I believe that says 21-3, but I'm not too sure because I think it's a 7 KD. Wow, did I actually end up getting the final kill? Fire! That is highway robbery from that rank 14. And second game is going to go right about now. So people believe that's the most skeptical part of this entire operation. That why would bin Laden, after 10 years of hiding, come out with an AK-47 and start spraying at the Navy SEALs that had landed in his compound? We're led to believe that, it's common sense that bin Laden was like, okay, I'm not getting out of this. It's time to just take it straight to them. They want me, they got me, so now they got to come get me. I'm not going alive. That's pretty much probably what he thought. Because the terrorists don't like to take themselves alive because they usually end up suicide bombing themselves. So he came with an AK-47, started shooting at the troops, and then one of the Special Forces guys ended up plugging him, I believe it was above the left eye, so I guess you could say headshot on the most wanted man in the world. And I don't know, it's like I've been playing Counter-Strike lately. I wonder how much money you would get for that kill. You got a headshot on the #1 man in the world with no aimbot and under hardcore conditions. So, how much money would that get you? And apparently, I think I just read it on Facebook about 10 minutes ago. There was a $25 million bounty on his head. I don't know. But, they did it. And then after they did it, they made sure that, people were going to be skeptical. So they were taking pictures of his body and photographs of the entire compound, the people that they killed. The story goes that they killed one of his adult sons and a couple of his grandkids, and I think it was him. It was bin Laden himself that used like a woman as a meat shield. If you play Gears of War, you just stick it in front of you, to absorb rounds. And apparently she was killed too, as I get the kill from the dead right there with the claymore. So she was killed too, trying to take out bin Laden. And I think that might have been it. I'm not entirely sure. It depends on what version of the story you hear. So, with bin Laden dead, they were taking pictures of his body. They called, they brought in like one of his ex-wives, I think, that lived in America, and they had her tested, or like maybe it wasn't her wife, maybe his wife, maybe it was his sister. Oh, wow, spawn death. So it was probably his sister, because they brought her in for DNA testing to see how close of a match she was, just to make sure that they had the right guy. And it came back as a positive match. So they knew that they got him, and they kept it secret for about a week. And then, they told Obama, and then Obama came out and addressed the union that, guess what? The son of a bitch is finally dead. And across America, across the world, there were a couple instances, a couple of YouTube videos that I watched. One thing on ESPN that I watched that was really great. The thing on YouTube I watched was all the cadets at West Point, which is not too far of a drive from my house, I think. It's in New York, so I'm in the same state. There was a video of all the cadets at West Point that were all celebrating. They were all gathered outside, like the head of the compound's office, and he came out and gave a speech, He's like, I'm proud of all you guys, even though you didn't really do anything. But let's also not forget the men and women that actually did like die overseas to get this guy. So, great for them. I'm not trying to discredit them or anything. I think they're doing a really good job. But I just gotta wrap this up because the video's almost over. And then the other thing I saw on ESPN was at the Mets and Phillies game, it was announced, it made its way throughout the stadium through people's iPhones and things like that. And in the middle of Daniel Murphy's at bat, the crowd just erupted into one giant chant of USA, USA, USA. And it was honestly one of the greatest sights I've ever seen. Like, it's a Mets-Phillies game. The teams hate each other. The fans hate each other. And yet they can come together in downtown Philadelphia to celebrate such a great thing. So, after 10 years, Bin Laden is finally dead. The world can breathe a sigh of relief, but now there's some questioning that we also talked about in Mystery. Like, now that he's dead, what are the terrorists going to do in response? Are they going to also think that because the United States dumped his body in the ocean as part of his, like, culture, not dumping him in the ocean, but that he had to be buried within 24 hours. They dumped him in the ocean so that his grave wouldn't become a shrine to all the terrorists that were still alive. So now people are wondering what's going to be the response by the terrorists. So hopefully there won't be one, and like the video for America.